All right, Sally's here. Now, unlike most of us on a Monday, you've been sipping some cocktails today.
I broke my own rules
Oh,
today and I went
goodness.
for it. Yeah, you know, when in Rome. Right.
When in London?
Well, when in London, exactly. Sorry, keep it local. In London, in Trafalgar Square, we get a Christmas tree every year. I'm explaining the story behind this. Now, always the story has been that the tree has come from Norway as a gift for our help during the war. However, today, a new story has emerged behind this tradition, and it involves the writer of James Bond, Ian Fleming, and of course, a London landmark hotel and a drink I had to force down myself. Let's take a little look. Here we go. James Bond is no stranger to a few Christmassy type trees. Turns out his creator Ian Fleming wasn't either. But if you're wondering what tale might connect this, the Trafalgar Square Christmas tree, and a drink in a London hotel, then take a seat. Please, can I order a martini? Shaken, not stirred.
Yes, of course.
Just getting in the mood. It's not so much the drink that matters. Ooh, that's why I don't drink those every day. But when in Rome, or rather the Savoy, because it's the hotel that's part of the story. And that story is a new version of how Trafalgar Square got its Christmas tree tradition. So it was 1942 here, and a British admiral, a Norwegian commando, and Ian Fleming were having a boozy night out right here in the Savoy. This document, recently uncovered in Greenwich, was written by the Vice Admiral Norman Denning, who was there that night, and said it was a dinner very rarely come by in wartime London. He then added, afterwards we piled into 2 jeeps, only to discover that amongst the gear with the Norwegian agent were 2 Christmas trees. Now, one was for the Norwegian king, then in England, while it was Ian who suggested that it would be a nice gesture to put one up in Trafalgar Square. And so they tied it to the north balustrade of Trafalgar Square, but apparently no lights were allowed on it due to the wartime blackout. So what did they hang on that tree then?
They hung some aircraft flares, and it must have been an extraordinary moment.
Nicholas Shakespeare has just written an authorised biography on Fleming, and it was Fleming's family who encouraged him to look into this story that only they knew about. What do you think he'd make of all this?
I think he'd have a long puff of a dangerous cigarette and think it was all quite amusing and not that important. But if it brought some cheer to a gloomy world, I think he would feel that's the best that that tree could do.
And since then, through the decades from the 60s to the noughties and beyond, assuming the story is correct, the gift of a tree has stood the test of time, much like another Ian Fleming invention we know.
Oh, and the tree goes up soon. Is it going to be snowing on it?
Well, goes up on Friday, which is also first day of meteorological winter, and potentially some snow coming, but there's a real sort of question mark over it. A lot of details still to pin down. But